Hey guys, this is Pastor Dave. Welcome to another midweek chat. I was born in America on June 3rd, 1952. Harry Truman was president when I was born, and that very same year Dwight Eisenhower would be elected the President of the United States, and he would serve for 8 years. I grew up in Lynchburg, which is a small city in central Virginia. I don't know of any country in the world that is more blessed than America, and I am so thankful that God in His providence allowed me to be born in this wonderful country. But more and more, my country, America, is walking away from its Judeo-Christian foundation. In 1962, sad to say, prayer was removed from our public schools. I believe our country has greatly suffered because of this terrible Supreme Court decision, in my opinion. The Alexandria school system has decided to bring back resource officers or policemen. From a Washington Post website is this information. Alexandria City Council votes to put police back in schools temporarily. The Alexandria City Council voted early Wednesday to return police officers temporarily to the city's public school hallways, reversing a narrow vote 5 months ago over the obligations of the school board and superintendent to defund the city's school resources officer program. If you would have told my grandparents and probably my parents that the day would come when our public schools would need police officers, they would have probably doubted it and maybe laughed it off. What would American schools look like today if prayer had not been removed in 1962? In spite of all of our flaws, I love this country. We need to realize this truth and embrace it more than ever. Psalm 33:12, the first part of that verse says, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord." Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. What I'm about to share with you now is quoted from the Wall Builder Report, summer 2006. I quote, "Neither our closest allies nor our fiercest enemies have experienced the stability with which we have been blessed. In fact, during the time that America has flourished under the Declaration of Independence, France has had 15 different governments, and Brazil has had 7 since 1822, Poland 7 since 1921, Afghanistan 5 since 1923, Russia 4 since 1918, and the story is similar for other nations throughout Europe, Africa, South America, and the rest of the world. Some describe this remarkable achievement as American exceptionalism, a term coined in 1831 by Alexis de Tocqueville, a famous French visitor to America who penned the classic Democracy in America. As de Tocqueville expressed it, the position of the Americans is quite exceptional, and it may be believed that no democratic people will ever be placed in a similar one. However, such a description should never be a cause for any sense of American superiority. On the contrary, Psalm 75, 6 through 7 states, "For exaltation comes neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but God is the judge. He puts down one and exalts another," indicates that such achievements are from the Lord and therefore should be a cause for an appreciative humility. As President John Adams rightly observed, it must be felt that there is no national security but in the nation's humble, acknowledged dependence upon God and His overruling providence. End of quote. To say that America has been blessed by God is indeed an understatement. To also say that we need to turn back to God is an understatement during these days. 2 Chronicles 7:14 says, "If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land." If my people who are called by my name, we need to remember that unbelievers are doing what's natural. They're of the world. Unbelievers are dead in trespasses and sins. There's a blindness in the unbeliever's life. We as believers have the responsibility of making a difference with the gospel, not only in this country but around the world. If we're going to make a difference, then we have to be different. We need to so walk with Christ that we earn a hearing with this world. 1 Peter 4:17 says, "For the time has come for judgment to begin at the house of God. And if it begins with us first, what will be the end of those who do not obey the gospel of God?" Oswald Chambers said, "The world is glad of an excuse not to listen to the gospel message, and the inconsistencies of Christians is the excuse." End of quote. You know, in a great way, the future of America rests upon the shoulders of God's people. I would love for my children and my grandchildren to grow up in the America that I have grown up in, that I have loved. Will you pray? Will you pray and resolve to live a life that honors the Lord Jesus Christ? A life that really, really honors Him? Will you pray also for the spiritual awakening of this country that I was born in and that I love, America? Until next time.